You're listening to the Late Night Football Show with your host, Rohit Singh. That's me. On this show, we talk about some of the most seriously silly topics from the world of football for your entertainment and enjoyment. Please remember that the show is BYOL. Bring your own laughs, since we don't have the budget for a studio audience. Happy listening. Hello everyone and welcome to Late Night Football's transfer reaction series. We've got a big one for you today. We've got Kai Havertz joining Chelsea, finally announced yesterday, and so we've got the reaction for you today with the Chelsea fans. We've got Nishikant Sharma, you've seen him before a couple of times. He's back on the show again. Nishi, welcome back to the show.
Hey Roy, thanks for having me. Hi to everyone, all of the viewers of this video.
Yes, and we've also got... and this is the first time you're doing a video, so this is the first time we've actually seen you live in person.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yes. And we've also got Arghya from another Chelsea fan who's here as well. So Arghya, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Hello to everyone watching it out there.
Yes. Arghya is just a little camera shy, but that's okay. We'll try to emote for him. But I'm sure you guys are really excited about the announcement finally made. This is something that's been going on for a couple of weeks that we've been hearing that he's doing a medical. I think it's been a week since he was doing his medical. I don't know what the longest medical record was, but finally Kai Havertz joining Chelsea from Bayer Leverkusen. Big signing for them, and some of the deals that have now the details that have now come out. So we'll just do a quick recap of that before we get into the specifics. It's a wonderful deal. But what do you guys think about Kai Havertz as a signing?
Well, it's an exciting signing for sure. He's a talented prospect. Personally, as much as excited I am, also have a lot of questions. I think this signing in itself brings about a lot of questions, in my opinion, because I can see right now with this player that Frank might be looking at a different system altogether compared to what we play.
Okay.
And we'll probably discuss that further in the video. But apart from that, there's also the question of the price tag that it comes with. If reports are to be believed, he is going to be the costliest transfer Chelsea has ever made, with 100 million pounds, even though it's not all up front. So there's definitely a question of that, and for a 21-year-old to have to go through with that kind of pressure, it remains to be seen how, obviously we'll get to see this season how well he does. So yeah, but I think there's talent there for him to be a Chelsea great in the future.
Arghya, what are your thoughts on the signing?
Well, I think, everyone seems to be saying that he's a generational talent or something, while nothing of the sorts like Messi or Ronaldo. But I think that Chelsea are getting back in shape. Mason Mount and Kai Havertz actually remind us of the way Lampard used to play, as a direct attacking midfielder who likes to go up front and score goals. And then Fabregas or somebody, we have Hakim Ziyech now, who is creative, loves to put in the long ball between the goalie and the defenders. So I think Frank Lampard is actually trying to resemble his, the team he used to play for, the team that won the Champions League. And we now actually have a world-class striker like Didier Drogba and Timo Werner. So I'm really excited about how things go ahead from here. But the only concern is Mason Mount was exactly the kind of player that Kai Havertz is. Maybe Kai Havertz is a little bit of an upgrade. So Mason Mount now gets relegated to the bench, or do we play, as Nishikant suggests, with an altogether new system? So all of those things remain to be seen. But I'm excited. I'm really happy about the prospect. Yeah.
Yeah. A quick few details about the transfer. It's 71 million pounds. That's what the official report is from BBC. That's the amount that they're paying, that Chelsea are paying. Makes him
that's the second one up front. That's the first installment.
I think
there are add-ons.
Yeah, but I think the initial payment is 71 million pounds, which makes him their second most expensive signing after Kepa. So let's hope he's better than that.
Ever.
I'm sorry?
Greatest signing ever, Kepa.
Yes, yes. Kepa is the most expensive player that Chelsea have ever signed. But you had to pay a bit more because you were signing a player and a manager together, right? So when I made that,
And he's in good at either role, to be
yes.
fair.
But for the most part, so my only knowledge of Havertz is with FIFA 20, and he's very highly rated on there. I think he's in 83, 84, I think on FIFA 20, and he goes up to a 93 potential. So yes, he's definitely a big talent. So yeah, I know FIFA is not reliable, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, so how does that affect? I think we talked a little bit, Nishikant, about the team. How do you think that affects the team going forward? Because the area of strengthening wasn't really attack, was it?
No, I think attack was one of the areas we needed to strengthen because we were goal shy. Yes, we have conceded 54 goals, but we haven't really set the world alight when it comes to scoring goals either. We needed someone, since Drogba, we've just had one proper attacker, proper striker, Costa, who has worked for us. And other than that, we have really struggled in that department. Tammy did well for his for a first debut season, and given that he's a young player, he did okay. But we can't really rely on Tammy and Giroud if you want to compete. If you want to close the distance with the top two that we have right now. So we definitely needed goals from strikers. And once Hazard left, we really didn't have goals from wings either. So we needed players. So obviously we have Pulisic and we added Ziyech to that. So we definitely needed that. And I think I mentioned this in one of our previous videos that I always thought Havertz is a luxury signing because I wanted to focus more on the defensive side of things. Obviously, we are leaking goals. So I think even on that front, we have signed Thiago Silva for free. We got a couple of others, Mbuamba and Malang Sarr. Not for the near future. Obviously, neither of those will be in the first team next season. But we have Chilwell and Thiago Silva. So we have kind of, and this is what we needed. We needed a left back more than anything in our defense. So we got that covered now. And good thing is that he was first choice of the manager. So it's good to see that after a while, after it's been a long time that our managers are kind of getting players that they want rather than board buying someone and just forcing it on them. So it's good to see that Lampard got his first choice, and obviously leadership was a huge issue. So we've got that covered with Thiago Silva. I think he can be a good mentor to the young defenders that we have in Christensen, Zuma, those that are coming from the academy like James and Tomori. So that's there. But when we come to Kai Havertz, now if we he mostly plays his best game is at number 10. He can play on wings. But his best game is number 10. Basically, he's a versatile player, so he can play anywhere in the up front. But that being said, our current formation that we play doesn't really have a proper number 10 because in our midfield three we have Kante or Jorginho, who will be kind of deep line midfielder, and then we have Kovacic paired with someone else like Mount or maybe Kante up ahead of Jorginho, and Kovacic and Kante ahead of Jorginho. So there's no specific number 10 that we played with this season. I don't really see, in my opinion, our wingers, the first choice wingers should be Pulisic and Ziyech on either side. So I don't really see, Kai Havertz being the winger. So it's either Frank Lampard changes the system, brings in a number 10 role and plays Kai Havertz there, or Kai Havertz plays as number 8. And in that case, that brings the question which Arghya mentioned, that what happens to Mount? because Mount really had a very good season this season. He played, I think, 36, 37 Premier League games. So he was clearly Lampard's first choice. And if I go by that, Lampard likes him. Lampard thinks he has the talent and the know-how to survive in, Chelsea's first team and survive in Premier League. So I don't think Lampard's going to drop Mount anytime soon. He's definitely not going to drop Kovacic, right? So the only thing, I'm kind of, not sure right now what we are going to play, because if we are going to bring in Havertz somewhere in the field, we have to sacrifice either, Mount or Kovacic to bring that, keep that number, same in the midfield. If it comes at the cost of Kante, I think that will be suicide to not have some defensive midfield, given how shaky our defense has been. So, that remains to be seen. It will be interesting to see how Havertz fits into the system, because in my opinion, his best position is number 10. That's where he should play in. I don't think we should be, experimenting with him playing instead of Pulisic, because I think Ziyech is going to play. I think Lampard likes him and he's going to play. But so I'm kind of worried that who are we going to sacrifice in order to accommodate Havertz, and how the system would develop.
I'm letting Arghya into this. Arghya, so let's assume that Chelsea play with a midfield three. What do you see as the ideal midfield three that would involve Havertz in the side?
If we play with a midfield three, then perhaps Mount can go on the left, because we have seen that a couple of times, that Mount is played on the left and then he becomes a left winger while on the attack, and on the defense he becomes a central midfielder, left midfielder of sorts. But now the question is, all good teams have a very good bench, so why not Mason Mount on the bench? We'll also have to remember that he's had only 4 goals season, I guess. So if you play 36 odd matches, or maybe 30 plus matches, and you score 4 goals, that isn't Chelsea level really. So perhaps Kai Havertz becomes the number 1 player, and then when Kai Havertz is injured or dropped out, Mason Mount gets the job. So, and what we also have to note is that Mason Mount from the bench at the 50 or the 60-minute mark would be a blast. Kante has to play, Kovacic can beat all sorts of pressure, so Kovacic has to play. So I guess Mount would be the scapegoat here, and he will have to be benched for a few games, and then maybe he'll come back, and there'll be rotation, there'll be injuries. Of course, there'll be injuries. Kai Havertz is just 21 and is coming from the Bundesliga to the Premier League, and there will be injuries, definitely. And then Mount comes in, Mount gets injured. But my problem here, Pulisic is very injury prone. So when Pulisic gets injured, who plays? Because we have seen Mount play on the left side quite a few times. So perhaps Mount can also play Pulisic on the left as well. Perhaps I don't know that yet. So I guess the midfield three will be for me, as you asked, Kovacic, Kante, and Kai Havertz, if we play in the 4-3-3 formation.
Yeah, I mean, you could even play a 4-2-3-1, I guess, with Kai Havertz if needed.
I think that'll be the ideal midfield. What Arghya mentioned, it'll have to be Kante, Kova, and Havertz, with Mount coming on at the 60th minute mark.
Sure. Well, yeah. Well, it's a good problem to have for a manager when they have more players rather than less, right? That's obviously good. All right. I asked this question to Siddhant in our Premier League preview show, and you've been seeing that answer. If you watch the Premier League preview show later tomorrow, or tonight, depending on where you're living, you will see that answer. And Siddhant gave his answer about who is excited for. But you guys, of Chelsea have signed 6 players now. Which signing are you guys most excited for to see?
I am personally excited for Ziyech. And we saw why in the first, match that we had, the first training friendly, whatever you could call it, the first preseason match. That was peach of a ball, what he gave. Callum really made a mess out of it. Thankfully, it fell to Werner, and he was able to score. I'm excited about Werner as well, but personally, I was, and I've said this before, I was really waiting for a winger with a left foot, who could operate on the right. I've said this before, and this was something that I've always felt we needed. I think every team needs a good, left footer who can attack. ZH is a steal for the price that we paid for it. The talent is really there. We have seen him. He played really well when Ajax played against us in Champions League. Scored a brilliant goal. You can argue whether he meant it or not, but a brilliant goal nonetheless. So that's one signing who I think can have the biggest impact on our season next, the coming season.
Arghya, what about you?
Absolutely, Ziyech, 100% with Nishikant on this one, because we have had goal scorers this season. We have Temi, and on the later part of the season, we had Giroud coming up from like a phoenix. And then we had Pulisic who dribbled through, and scored goals. So we had goal scorers, but we did not have somebody who could break defensive systems when opposition teams played like a unit. So when they had the organized defense, we could not simply break into the defense. Kovacic or Kante would run up the ball and pass it to the wingers who would put in a cross, and that's it. That's the end of it. So now that we have Ziyech, we have a third option. There's a direct play, of course, then there is the wingers, and then there is Ziyech who can make those creative passes. And of course, there is Werner, who is a prolific striker who would make those runs behind the defense lines and score goals. So I am 100% Nishikant. Ziyech it is.
Okay, well, what's Dan said, you can find out in our Premier League preview episode. I'm not going to spoil it for you here, so stay tuned for that one. Last question, because I do like to have a little bit of mischief and a bit of cheekiness. So here's a question for you guys: 71 million pounds for Kai Havertz, or about 50 or 60 million pounds for Bruno Fernandes. Who do you think represents better value for money? I'm not asking who's the better player. I'm just asking which is the better value for money. Is it Bruno Fernandes or Kai Havertz? Let's start with you.
Well,
okay, Nishikant.
yeah. Okay. Well, right now, we have seen maybe like 1 or 2 months of Bruno Fernandes taking penalties. So I think it's not. It hasn't been long enough in Premier League for me to make a educated judgment here. And Havertz, he hasn't even kicked the ball yet. Obviously, Bruno is cheaper, but how old is he?
He is, I think, 25 now.
25, right? So that Havertz is 21, and he has been really phenomenal in Bundesliga. He has the fastest 50 goal record, fastest 100 goal record, and speaking of that, both the players who he beat Timo Werner's record. So Chelsea right now have both the fastest 50 and 100, as well as the second fastest 50 and 100. So yeah, he is costly. I won't deny that. For a 21-year-old, I agree with everything, his stats and everything, but still I think he's costly, and that's really just what the market is these days. I think Marina did a really phenomenal job to bring down the asking price that Leverkusen were asking for Havertz, and bring it down to and first of all divide that into add-ons instead of having to pay it up front, and just bring down the upfront price to 70 odd million euros. So that's really good, but we will have to see. I think next season, by the middle of next season, we'll have enough data, to conclusively say that Havertz is a better player. So we'll ask this again in a few minutes.
Yeah. So basically, your answer is no answer, but it's Kai Havertz. No, okay. I got it. Arghya, what is your opinion?
Well, we have to see where each of them comes from. Bruno comes from the Portuguese league. Right. So Kai Havertz comes from the relatively better, more competitive Bundesliga. So, and then there is the age question, and then there is the records that speak for themselves. So Bruno Fernandes is a good player, can make those runs, can make those passes, but all he has been doing is taking penalties. Okay, I am a little bit on this side, but nonetheless, Kai Havertz has been scoring goals in the Bundesliga. So we needed a player who can score goals. Chelsea always had players who could score goals from all the positions. Lampard could score a goal, Drogba could score a goal, John Terry would score goals in the corner. So we need players who can score goals, and I think Kai Havertz has the potential to score goals. He doesn't have the potential.
He's very good with heading. His heading ability is very good.
I did not know that. No, that's wonderful.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So
given
those things, I would prefer Kai Havertz at this moment. But then 6 months down the line, if he turns out to be a flop, don't ask me.
So here you have it. Chelsea fans, Manchester United fans, both Nishikant and Arghya think that Kai Havertz represents better value for money. We're not saying they're better player. We're saying he represents better value for money than Bruno Fernandes. Smash a like if you agree with that. And also leave a comment giving your opinion. What do you think? Do you think Kai Havertz is better value for money, or is it Bruno Fernandes? Let us know in the comment section. Thank you so much, guys, for being on this show. That I think covers everything. Really appreciate you taking the time from your exciting plans after Kai Havertz signed to give us this reaction video. Really, really appreciate it. I'm sure there might be a party on the streets. No, I don't know. But thank you so much, guys, for being on the show.
Thanks, Roy. Thanks for having us here again.
Yes. If you like the video, guys, please do remember to like and share. And also, please hit the subscribe button. If you're new, we want to grow the channel, so really appreciate your support. If you could subscribe to the channel, it's in the top left right-hand corner if you are watching this on YouTube. Please stay tuned. We will have more updates on big transfers as they happen. We'll see what the next one will be. Maybe it will be Reguilon to Manchester United or Jadon Sancho. It won't be Lionel Messi. We know that. But nonetheless, thank you so much, guys. Take care and have a good night. Bye-bye. Hey everyone, thank you so much for listening to that episode of Late Night Football. We need your help to grow this channel, so if you've been enjoying the show thus far, please do like and subscribe to this channel and share it with your friends, family, colleagues, neighbors, drinking buddies, fellow football fans, and anybody else you know or don't know. We'd really appreciate it. Please also follow us on Twitter and Facebook via the links in the description below and spread the word about us. Take care.